Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Just looking at our screen and that we've got 25 participants joining us so far. Some people have been around for a while. Some faces are brand new friends of ours. Thank you for coming out and spending a little bit of time with Randy and I tonight. And really, tonight is so much about you. It really has nothing to do with us. We just simply want to throw it out there. We are very big. We're very big into obviously sharing. Randy and I are very passionate about Plexus, as many of you are. And we know that for both of us, we feel very passionately about, paying these gifts forward to people. It is so much not about selling at Plexus. It's very much about sharing, because what Randy and I have both come to learn very quickly is that people need our help. People are hoping and praying for what we can offer them. So what a huge blessing it is to be able to have the opportunity to touch people this way. So the purpose of tonight's call and why it's important to you is we're going to share with you some very specific tips on how you can earn back the cost on your products as soon as next month. And if you're interested in making that an ongoing thing, which all of us should be, why wouldn't we be? We're going to be making sure that we touch on how to do that as well. So everyone give me a thumbs up if that's okay with you, the content. Cool. All right, very good. So to get started, I just want to introduce myself to those of you that I don't know yet. I do hope to meet you in the trenches at some point. But my name is Jen Cooper. I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. And I'm actually coming up on my 2-year Plexiversary this month. I just got the email today and I was like, oh my God, where did the time go? And my gosh, what has changed in the last 2 years? You know, when I signed up as a wholesale customer, it was only because I had recently quit my Plexus journey. But then as I was wrapping up my products, I started to notice a few things change. Very subtle things changed with my health. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to sign back up and see if it really is the Plexus or if it's just all in my head. And the rest is history, you guys. I came back. I signed up 2 years ago in March as an ambassador to get the cheapest prices. And it was very quickly after I signed back up that I realized, just from listening to people around me, how many people really needed help. And I thought, well, gosh, it would be awfully silly to keep this to myself. So I started sharing with other people. And lo and behold, I've had the opportunity to see lots of lives change over the last couple of years and be able to walk alongside people during their journeys as well. And now they have paid it forward to people. And I'm so excited to share some tips with you guys tonight to see if maybe you'll connect to some of them and think, well, gosh, that seems pretty easy. I can do that. And I would love to have, who wouldn't like to have their products paid for each month, you know? So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Randy to introduce herself.
Yes. Okay. So there are a lot of faces I see on here that I know, and then quite a few that I don't. So I'm going to start. My name is Randy Boyd, and I'm a senior Ruby ambassador with Plexus. I have been with Plexus just a little bit over 2 years. My 2-year anniversary was in January. I'm a mom I have 4 kids. I was a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. And so Plexus was very needed, both income-wise, health, energy, oh my gosh, all of the above. I needed it for everything. We're a military family. My husband's in the Army, so that's we move around a lot. Holding a steady job for myself was really not ever really going to be an option, because I can't even tell you how many addresses we've had in the past 10 years. It has probably been upwards of 9 or 10. So holding another job other than network marketing probably wasn't going to work for me. So we are going to just dive right in here, all right? We're going to try to be very respectful of your time. I know it's an evening and you got things to do, so let's dive on in. The first thing I want to discuss tonight is we're talking about earning back the cost of your products, okay? Is why Plexus is unique. What makes Plexus and earning money with Plexus different than earning an income or earning that cost of your products back with any other company? The reason that this is important to know is that I actually was with 2 other network marketing companies prior to Plexus and failed with both of them. Failed quite miserably. Maybe had 1 month that was successful, because when you first start a company, people want to try what you're selling. So I maybe had 1 month of success and then none. With one company, I even had a party and nobody came. That was my first experience. With the second one, I had 1 month of good stuff and then nothing. So Plexus, when I joined Plexus, I was after this for health reasons, of course. I needed energy. I was a Diet Coke addict, all that normal stuff, that's pretty common with us. I was not expecting to find business success. Okay? But here's what I found that makes Plexus unique. Number 1, Jen touched on this for a second. We have products that people need. These are not products that are just like a luxury, something pretty on a shelf. Mm-hmm. These are not luxuries of something else, and I'm not doubting any network marketing company, but just something to cook on or something to wear. This is something that is a true need. When people experience Plexus, they realize that their health can be changed, that the chronic ailments that they have been suffering with for years, actually, there's something they can do. They're not just having to be a slave to some of these things. That's been the greatest blessing for me, is to watch my own family members who struggled with chronic ailments forever. Now they no longer struggle with those. So Plexus is a company that sells something. I'm going to say the word sell because the truth is people are buying things. That sells something that people desperately need. Okay? That's the first thing. I feel so wholeheartedly passionate about these products because I know that they're changing lives. Okay? The second thing, this is a consumable good. The difference in a company that sells a consumable good means people get started on Plexus, they like their results, so they continue to purchase Plexus. Mm-hmm. Every time they purchase Plexus, you as the ambassador that is either selling to them, or if they are an ambassador, that's how you make a residual income. You've all heard of residual income. This is how it works. If you buy from another MLM, let's say a jewelry company, you buy a piece of jewelry from an MLM, and let's say it has a lifetime warranty. You are never going to buy again. At least not that piece of jewelry, right? That's not a consumable good. So while that consultant maybe got some sort of perk when you purchased that, you're not coming back. Whereas in Plexus is a consumable good, this is ongoing, okay? That's another difference. Another big thing is that you don't have to sell to be able to join. Mm-hmm. And so you, as an ambassador who may be signing people up underneath you, you don't have to recruit people who want to work the business. Mm-hmm. That's a huge aspect because a lot of people have no interest in that. And that's okay. But the beauty of Plexus is that you can benefit from a team that is growing and an income that is growing with people who are strictly buying for themselves. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It works out beautifully. Another huge thing is we don't have to have parties. We don't have to carry any stock in our homes. There's no large investment where you have to purchase, say $500 worth of product that you have to then sell out of your home. There's very little money up front. In fact, what is the money up front? $34.95. Guys, we spend that on Friday night. That is what we pay up front. Versus I know a lot of companies, you're shelling out a lot of money to maintain inventory. In fact, I know I just tried to buy something from a friend of mine, and she told me, that I needed to pick from what she had in stock. And I was like, you carry all that at your house? You already bought it all? I was shocked. I would never do that. I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't. I don't have that kind of money to just throw it around and hope that it sells. Plexus is different. Plexus is different. And the last way I'm going to touch on, there are more, but the last one, the big one, is that we have a 60-day money-back guarantee, guys, mm-hmm. for our ambassadors, for our customers, for our retail, for our preferred, for everybody. That means that our company stands behind their products, but it also means that your folks that are interested in trying this can try risk-free, and that is huge. It's really, really huge. All right. So now we're going to get into how you actually earn some money. First thing, a show of hands here. You know, when you got started with Plexus, how many of y'all had a hard time at first spending money on yourself? Yeah. I don't know if you're a mom, a wife, maybe you got dogs, maybe you got nephews and nieces. Spending money on yourself is hard. It really is for a lot of us. You know, I think men and women, but I think us women, I think we get it a little bit more. So Jen, I'm going to turn it to you, and Jen's going to kind of tell us, okay, what do we do?
Very cool. Awesome. Thanks, Randy. Okay, guys, so when we are talking about earning back the cost of our personal products, we really are focusing on two different ways to do this. And even better, a combination of the two. That would be the best case scenario. And what I'm talking about, these two things, is one, achieving the rank of Silver Ambassador at Plexus. Okay, and the second thing that we're going to touch on is the advantages of gaining preferred customers. Both of those two options can earn you a shockingly good income, good good change to do whatever you'd like with, in addition actually to covering the cost of your personal product, because it actually amounts to quite a bit. So let's talk about the first option. If you probably have heard or seen in pages, you've seen the term Silver Ambassador. What does that mean? For someone who has, is a new friend to us, that may be completely foreign to you and you just don't know what that means. Well, I'm going to share with you how simple it really is. Achieving the rank of Silver is the fastest way to achieve the covering the cost of your personal products, okay? Let me ask real quick, raise your hand if any of you got a welcome pack when you joined as an ambassador. Along with and maybe somebody got the triplex or a double triplex. The triplex is a super popular one. If you got that welcome pack, your sponsor who sponsored you actually got money off that. Now, I'm going to share with you a little specifics about that money. If you go Silver with Plexus, that means that you have enrolled 3 ambassadors directly through you. Okay, that alone, and they are qualified, which essentially means that they have ordered 100 PV worth of product, or they have purchased a welcome pack. Okay, that would qualify them as one of your 3 ambassadors. And when that happens, you get a one-time bonus when you promote to Silver just by gaining those 3 people and helping them along their way. You gain $100. Boom, done. 3 people, $100. Now, here's the kicker that even gets more exciting. If that person purchases a welcome pack, which 9 out of 10 times they're going to, because it's a great, great deal, and usually those products are the ones that they're going to be starting with anyways. If they purchase a welcome pack, you are going to earn either $25 or $50 depending on the welcome pack that they choose. So that means on top of the $100, you can earn anywhere between $75 and $150 just in welcome packs. Okay, so let's look at potentially what that means. Say, you learn some tips after today, you practice them, and boom, you've got 3 people who want to enroll as ambassadors and get started on their journey with you, and they all purchase welcome packs. That means that your very next month, you are going to earn anywhere between $175 and $250. Depending on the welcome pack that they choose. So when I think about even $175, you guys, I can do a lot with that money. Not only does it cover the cost of my products, it covers the cost of, part of my husband's as well. So that's a big deal to me, and I hope that that resonates with you. 3 people, that's all it takes. Now, that's one avenue to go about getting your products paid for. The second avenue, guys, we're looking at, okay, after we promote to Silver, after we get that one-time bonus, then what happens in residual months? Well, you know what? I want my products covered as long as I can. The best way to do that is to gain some preferred customers. Preferred customers, they get so many perks, you guys. They get access to their own site to control their orders. They get a full 60-day money-back guarantee. Like, they really do have a lot of perks as well. So if you gain some preferred customers, and say your PV reaches 500, that's what we want to aim for. Because if you reach 500 PV, you're going to achieve a very nice commission rate back on that PV. Now, there are plenty of resources available for you to learn more about that, both in YouTube, in our team pages, and also through your sponsor. But I just wanted to, kind of share a little bit about, if we're thinking fast, we're thinking go silver as soon as possible. If you're thinking, you know what, I kind of like that idea of that going silver and getting that bonus, but I kind of want this to be an ongoing thing. That is residual income, guys. That's what Randy was talking about. If you want to earn residual income, we want to put preferred customers in this mix as well. It's almost like a functional bicycle. You need two wheels, right? You need both preferred customers and and ambassadors to really make a difference with this business and put and give yourself some nice residual income and covering the cost of your products. So those are the two things that we're focusing on when we're thinking about earning back the cost of our products. Most importantly, and probably why you came here tonight, how specifically are we going to get this done, right? Does everybody have a pad of paper and a pen? Because if you don't, I want you to have this, because when you leave us tonight, you're going to jot down, you're going to have some notes written down that you could implement immediately, and it would definitely help towards your success. So what we're going to talk about next is a very small amount of IPAs. And I'm not talking about, the good beer that I like to drink when I'm not pregnant. IPAs at Plexus stand for income producing activity. So if you this is why you're here tonight, is to learn some of these. What really are the best practices that we can help earn back the cost of our products? IPAs are the way to go, guys. And let me tell you something, the IPAs that we're sharing with you tonight, if you just joined Plexus and you're new to our family, they are exactly the same IPAs that Randy and I, both as Ruby and Senior Ruby Ambassadors, still practice to this day. They are the same. So what that means to you is, if you can break off some of these and put them to work, all you need to do is keep doing that, and you will be successful. I promise you, as little or as much as you want to be. So with that being said, we're going to essentially focus on a hot five IPA, okay? Hot five IPAs. So the first one is using social media to share our presence. This really is a big deal, but I want to be very clear, guys. Social media is something that we do. It's a small piece of what we do, really a small piece. It's designed to get the message out to a mass amount of people, okay? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, if you post on social media, that all of your friends list are going to see your posts. It's not the case. It's just not the case. It's not the way Facebook or Instagram, it's not the way that they work. So when it comes to sharing, we need to be consistent. First and foremost, we need to be consistent with our messaging. And if you are active on social media already, it's okay if you're not, but if you are, we recommend posting 3 to 4 times a day, and only about 1, maybe 2 of which could be Plexus related. We want to have a nice balance, okay? We do not want to be sharing Plexus only on social media, because that's a really easy way to get blocked, and it's just really unattractive. People they just don't like that. Or as Randy likes to say, depending on how much you post on social media, about 30% of your posts should be about Plexus. So that, if you kind of look at what you do on a regular basis, you make that judgment for yourself. Only you know what you're comfortable doing. And I can't stress this enough, guys. When you do choose to share a post about Plexus on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, we want to be as personal as possible. There really are a lot of very good posts out there that we see and we're like, wow, like that was really powerful and that's a lot of information. Well, let me tell you something. If you're just kind of even whether you're just getting started or you've been doing this a while, I'm telling you guys, keep it simple. Keep it simple and personal and from the heart. People will appreciate this so much more rather than scrolling past your posts. This is what I do a lot when I see posts that look like advertisements. If it says something like, do you suffer from do, or does it sound like a commercial? And I just scroll right past those posts. And I'm involved in the industry, but I go right past those posts because that doesn't speak to me. I want to know what it means to you. So think personal and simple. Like I said before, we want to be very careful not to overdo it with the Plexus. Very important to do lots of other engaging posts. Share about a book that you love. Post a picture of your children. Where did you go to a great restaurant that day? Share other things. Or maybe you are looking for a good restaurant. Maybe you're looking for a good book to read. Put those out there on Facebook. Engage some people. Get some interactions. That's going to create what we call an audience. And you want to grow your audience. And the only way to do that is to have a nice balance of activity. Let's see. This is a personal thing that I like to do. I like to invite people to ask me questions. I like to invite it. I don't like to use, and this doesn't make it right or wrong, I don't like to use the words, join my team today. I like to welcome people to, and invite them to ask me questions. I also like to ask them questions at the end of my post. If I share something that Plexus has helped me with, lasting energy throughout the day, and where in the afternoon before Plexus, I used to always need a nap, by show of hands with the emoji, who else has felt this way? I like to ask questions because someone that's scrolling along reading, they may be thinking, oh God, well, that's me every day. I like to ask the questions as if I'm speaking to that person, even though I don't know necessarily who's reading it. That's just me. Like I said before, we're aiming to ditch the advertisements. Aim to reach the hearts of people. If you look back at your post, reread it. If you're not asking them a question, if you're not inviting them, if you're not touching their heart in some way, see if you can go back and make that happen. All right? Reaching hearts is definitely a very big factor in getting people to respond to you. Oh, and when people, in the chance that you may be lucky and somebody responds to your post, hey, I'd like to learn more, or how much is Plexus, or whatever. If you're lucky enough that people respond openly, because a lot of times they don't, they watch you for a long time. That doesn't mean that when you don't get a response, that doesn't mean that they're not watching. It just means it's not on their time yet. And they are also waiting to see if you really believe what you're saying. And that goes back to the consistency. If you're not consistent, you're sending the message and then you just kind of stop. You're sending the message to people that, they were right, that it really wasn't that great, or you would have kept doing it. So I can't tell you enough. Stay consistent, and if somebody does reach out to you, respond to them privately. Don't respond. You don't have to don't put your link in the comments. Reach back. You can say, I'd be happy to answer you, Sarah. I'm going to reach out to you privately right now. and reach out to them privately to engage in more of a question and answer, session. So right now I have a brief activity for you. Everybody take your pen. Okay, everybody got your pen? Okay. So we just talked about, we use social media quite a bit, right? Now we're going to start putting this to work. Because social media is one aspect of sharing, guys, one aspect of sharing, and Randy's going to share some really solid alternative options if you're not comfortable sharing on Facebook. I want you guys to think of someone or someones that may have type 2 diabetes or type 1 diabetes, or someone that you saw or see often that is struggling managing their weight, someone that is addicted to coffee because they need the energy to get through the day, someone that does not sleep well at night, someone that that takes Advil regularly because of their chronic bodily pains. Who do you know that has migraines? Oh my gosh, I could go on forever. Who do you know that has, think of people that have, emotional and mental distress and have suffered for a long time. I'm hoping that I just jogged your thoughts. I want you to write down 5 people's name right now that just came to mind when I gave you those things. You could probably write a lot more, but we're only putting 5 down right now. I actually just jotted down a few too, and I've been at this a long time. Sometimes we just need to put it out there and be like,
jogged your own memory.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you've got 4 to 5 names right now. Okay. Now, before you go to bed tonight, guys, you have a small start right now. Before you go to bed, we want that list to go to 20 people. So before you put your head down tonight, and you could probably rattle them off right now. You could probably do it right now. But for the sake of time, just put down that that's your homework. You're going to do 20 before you go to bed tonight, so that you've got that list in your hand of people that you'll be able to reach out to as soon as possible to share what it is that you're doing. And more importantly, specifically why you thought of them and why they might be interested, and invite them to learn more and try it with you. Now, Randy's going to take over the next part to specifically talk about, okay, how do we reach out to these 20 people successfully using resources and to help us really share these products that we love so much.
Alrighty. So once you have this list of folks, or once you have these people in your head and you're going to write them down, we're talking about sharing, all right? The cornerstone of Plexus is you have to tell people about Plexus, right? Social media posting is obviously a way that you can kind of get the message out to a large amount of people at one time. It's very effective if done well. The next way, it's probably even my favorite way, is going to be to share privately. This would be to reach out to those that you love, to your friends, to your family, oftentimes before they reach out to you, okay? Some people are going to see you post on Facebook or on Instagram, and they're going to reach out to you and say, what is Plexus, all right? We're not talking about that at the moment. Right now, I'm talking about they haven't messaged you at all. But you know that this is your sister and she has chronic migraines. Or this is your cousin who has suffered with IBS forever. This is, whoever you're thinking of, your grandmother with type 2 diabetes, whatever. Whoever this is, you're going to reach out to them first. Now, there are multiple ways to do this. I don't want you to get hung up on one way or another. This is simple, guys. How do you talk to people? You text them, you call them, you talk to them at the playground. I just shared Plexus this afternoon with my neighbor. We were out watching our kids play, and I was drinking my Slim, and she said, do you drink that every day? And I said, yes, I do. And I shared Plexus with her. Business, products, the whole shebang. And she kept asking. I shared Plexus in person. She's not even a friend of mine on Facebook. Let's see. So texting in person, via like a private message on Facebook, the PMs. I think Instagram has those too. I'm not super Instagram savvy, but I think they even have instant messages on there. You could use those. The Facebook ones are really good because you can use the, the little voice clips, and people love to hear your voice. And plus it's very time effective for us busy women, right? Men too. I don't know if we have any men on here, but if we do, I don't want to leave them out. So this is when we're talking, you're going to share like this. Now, when you reach out to people, sometimes it's like, well, what do I say? Here's the thing. Jen touched on it a minute ago. You're going to just share your story. What has Plexus done for you? And some of you may have just gotten started and you don't even have a story yet. That was me. When I started sharing Plexus, I didn't have a story yet. I simply invited my sisters and my mom to do this with me. I was like, hey guys, I'm starting something new. I see that everybody gets great results. Do you want to do it too? And my sister was like, okay, yeah. She did it real easily. My other sister took a little bit longer. I had some cousins join me. I just invited them. I was like, I'm just doing it. People seem to like it. You want to try it with me? And they did. So that's the way if you don't have a story yet. If you do have a story, like somebody like me, or, if you've been doing this for 6 months, you have something, where you were before Plexus, what was going on in your life, what you were struggling with, why you chose Plexus to start, and you now know what your results have been. All you gotta do is share that. And you can even be, guys, the more vulnerable and transparent you can be with people when you're talking to them, the better. When you can say up front, listen, I don't know everything about the products. I don't know the science behind all this, but I do know how I feel. People are going to really respect that honesty. I know I like it when people are honest and open with me. And when you share that little bit of vulnerability, so don't be afraid of that. What I'm saying is don't be afraid if you don't know everything. All right? When you reach out to somebody, sometimes it does strike up a conversation. No, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you reach out to them and they ignore you. That happens. Okay? Sometimes you reach out to them and they say, no, thanks, I'm not interested. That's okay too. All right? You're doing your part in just the reaching out. You don't know how many people you may have to reach out to. You don't know. There's not like a magic number. But what I will say is that sometimes when you reach out to people, they're interested and they start asking you questions. And you may not know the answers to their questions. And I think that oftentimes that holds people back in the beginning because they want to know everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of you are sitting here thinking, but I don't know it all. I don't know it all. It's okay. It's okay. Do you know how many times I go to my upline? A lot. I still do. I still have questions. This is when we're going to utilize another one of our IPAs. And this is going to be to utilize 3-way messaging, or a 3-way text, or a 3-way phone call. And what this is basically like if you're doing a message, let's say you send somebody a private message on Facebook, okay? Let's say that's the way you choose. And they're like, yeah, I'm kind of interested. I've got this ailments, and they're asking you questions and you're like, wait, I do not know that answer because I'm new at this. You can say, you're going to add your sponsor, your direct upline to this conversation. Unless your direct line isn't active, then you go, you know what I mean? Find one of your uplines. And you're going to add them to the conversation. Like for me personally, my upline's name is Sarah. So I would say, I don't know the answer to that because I'm still kind of newer. I'm going to add my friend Sarah to this conversation because she's been doing this a lot longer than me and she can help. No, you don't have to make it real formal. Be real casual about it. And be honest. Don't call them your upline. Don't call them your sponsor. Call them your friend. And all you're doing is they're going to help you and they're going to come in and help you answer these questions. It's twofold. First of all, it's going to help that person get the information that they're after, but it's also going to help you learn how to have this conversation in the future. It's an excellent way. All right. So now you've reached out to people. Some people told you no, some people ignored you, and then some people said, yeah, tell me more. So now let's say you started, sometimes you can handle that conversation all on your own, but sometimes you need to get a 3-way message involved. These are very, very efficiently well done and a very helpful. All right, let me just make that really clear. These work, use them. After that, let's say your person decides to purchase, or maybe they say, I'm going to wait until payday. So contact me on the 15th. All right. You better follow up with that person, okay? Again, like I said in the very beginning, we're not a company that sells something you wear. We're not a company that sells something you put on a shelf. We're not a company that sells something to cook with or, a piece of jewelry. We're a company that shares something that is you're putting in your body, and it's going to change the way you feel. This means we have to be diligent following up with people, with following up with them to see if they want to order, asking lots of open-ended questions so that they continue to talk to you. Another really great tool when you're sharing your story is to use some kind of tool. One of my favorite phrases to use is a phrase out of Eric Worre's book called Go Pro. If any of y'all have read that, that's the name of the book. If you haven't, goodness, it's great. But one of the things that he says, and it just stuck with me really good, he says, let's say an example of like a video. We have videos on YouTube that help go over our individual products, and they're very, very good tools to use. You don't have to know, I don't have to know everything about the triplex because dietitian Jennifer Pickett made a video about the triplex, and she is a real dietitian, and so she can explain it extremely well. So sometimes I'm going to message folks and tell them my story, and then I'm going to say, hey, Julie, if I send you a video about the triplex, which is the products I use, would you watch it and let me know what you think? Julie is almost 9 times out of 10 going to be like, sure. Guess what? Now, Jennifer Pickett, a dietitian, is going to tell your person about the triplex. So there are other tools to use as well, but don't be afraid to reach out. That's the key component here. And then to follow up and say, well, what did you think? Did you watch the video? What interested you in that? Did you have any questions? That's the way you're going to follow up with this. This is not complicated. This is extremely simple. Don't be overwhelmed. This is simply telling people, sharing Plexus. All right? Let me make sure I hit up all the points here that I wanted to. I think we're good. All right. So our 5 IPAs, if you were really, I'm not organized, but if you're really organized and you want to make sure you hit them all up, first one is going to be your social media posting. All right. Again, consistent, not constant. Be you. People like you. Post about yourself too. You're going to make that list. That list is ongoing. When you meet somebody new, add them to your list. Keep that list going. Okay. Number 3, you're going to be reaching out to people. We call this a cold contact. It sounds really salesy to me, so I don't really like it. But basically reaching out to people before they reach out to you. And then utilizing 3-way messaging and following up. All right, those are your 5. Jen is going to share one more little bit about another super awesome way that you can utilize sharing, and a great tool, because we are never going to know it all. So the more tools that we can utilize, the better. All right, Jen, finish up here with our last awesome point.
Yay! Okay, so the guys, I know that seemed so simple because it is. It really is. I want you guys to raise your hand if you thought that they were reasonable, that wasn't too complicated, and you know what? I'm a really busy person. I don't have a lot of time, but really, we already got started together, didn't we? Putting 5 people down on that piece of paper. You already have an idea. You're going to have 15 more before you go to bed tonight. Guys, it really, all it is just reaching out. And then, and like Randy said, you get some responses, you have help, you've got support. Putting our heads together to help others and pay it forward is what this is all about. This is very, very achievable. And I'm glad that you guys felt that those were reasonable. And like I said before, there's no secret, guys. Whether you are just getting started with us, or you are a Ruby or Senior Ruby Ambassador or a Diamond Ambassador, these things do not change. If you want to earn more back, keep doing these, and keep adding to your list, like Randy said. Now, what she was talking about as far as a last, really good tip to kind of drive it all home, we have so many resources, and very, very often we have events. We've got, I know that there's 2 things going on this month. I know that there is a 7-day trial challenge going on in a couple different places, and there's also a Facebook online live event, which we have just started organizing the last few months. not just, we've been doing Facebook events for a long time and they're so well received, but we've started to switch our format to going live. So live streaming videos, real people, real testimonies, and the purpose of them is to deliver education, to deliver it in a very, very well received, very inspiring, very informative way that doesn't leave people feeling like, oh, I gotta do something, like, or I'm gonna be bound to something, or there's gonna be a catch, like if I go to this thing. It's not like that. And it's your lucky day because we actually have an online event coming up very soon on March 22nd. Write that down on your piece of paper. March 22nd is our next Facebook event. So what this means to you is you've now got something. You've got something to say to anybody off that list of 20 that you want to, you know, say, this is what I'm doing, you know, this is why I'm doing it. And invite them to try it with you. You've also got something else now. You can say, hey, you know, if you'd like to join us, they're going to be doing an informational event. They're really fun. They offer giveaways, and it's really, really good information that's going to empower you to make good decisions for yourself, however you see fit. Guys, that's going to be available to you. I strongly urge you to use them. I can tell you, like Randy said about, you know, reaching out to people like privately is her favorite. It's also my favorite. You know what another one of my favorites is? Online events. And I'll tell you why. Because you don't have to, a lot of you guys won't, all you'll have to do is get people there. If you get people there, we'll make sure that they are in very good hands, that they receive the right amount of information, and then we're going to send them right back to you so that you can take care of them. And like Randy said, following up with them from there. What did you think? What stuck out to you? Utilize these events, guys. They're for you. If you don't invite, I'm telling you, I would say that 90% of the people that I have invited personally and privately and that actually attend the event, I would say about 90% of them become my customers or my ambassadors. It really is phenomenally well done. And just so you know, those of you that have been on in the past, the last couple ones we've done, we're doing our best to work out some technical issues so that hopefully we can have them more resolved, and so it's more user-friendly for the next one. But, it's just stay positive. It's a work in progress. It's a really great work in progress. We're so proud of it, and we're so proud to be able to offer this to you and whoever you choose to offer it to, that we really want to do our best to make it as user-friendly as possible. So now I think that's probably, that's the gist of our call, guys. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to leave. I would totally understand if you got to jump off because you need to go help the kids or, go get ready for work tomorrow or whatever. Randy and I are going to hang out for a little while for some questions and answers. So if you do have a question at this time, if you need to jump off, just jump off. No problem at all. And thank you for your time. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Thank you so much for y'all jumping on. I appreciate coming to learn. Hopefully you took a little tidbits.
I know, right? And please follow up with us if privately. Let us know if something worked for you, or if you thought that something was a really good idea. Let us know, because we want to know what helps you.
Y'all have any questions?
Maybe they're figuring out how to unmute themselves.
You do have to unmute yourself to ask a question, yes.
Yeah. I think if you scroll over the screen, you can see the mute button, and if you click on that, it's going to offer a chance to unmute it.
Do y'all want an example of a message I might send somebody?
Oh, that might be good.
Helpful? I don't have anything written down. I'm going off the top of my head here. An example of a message that I might send somebody. Let's say if I'm using Facebook Messenger, I try to keep it very simple, and I much prefer to talk about in the very beginning, let me start again. In the very beginning, when I started Plexus, I kind of vomited Plexus on people in messages. I would be like, hey, hey, how are you? And I hope you're doing well. Kids are getting big. I always kind of tried to like shoot the breeze. And then I would kind of dive into, I don't know if you've seen my post or not, but I've started with Plexus, and then it's a health and wellness company, and it manages your blood sugar. Okay, y'all. Don't do that, okay? I actually would have to almost apologize. I did actually literally at the end of most of my messages saying, sorry, that was a novel. I'm totally being honest here. This is true. And I think if you have to apologize for your own message, that is not a good message. But that's what I did in the beginning, and it was not very effective. You know what is effective now? I am messaging folks, and I'm being extremely honest with them. Hey, Susie, you've been on my mind. I have tried to reach out to you I've sat down to reach out to you a couple times, and I've hesitated, but I can't hesitate anymore. I've got to reach out to you. That's the vulnerability. All right. I'm just being real here. I've chickened out, basically. That's what I like to say, because I have. It's just being honest. And then I'll say something like, I'm sure you've seen my Facebook journey, my Plexus journey on Facebook, and that's only because I've been doing this for 2 years. If you haven't, you could say, I'm not sure if you've seen that I have started a Plexus journey. I've just started a couple months ago, but it's making a big impact for me. I would love to simply share my story with you. Would you be open to chatting more in the next week? Period. Question mark, whatever. That's it. That's it. Just invite, just ask, hey, are you open to learning more about Plexus? And then some people are going to say, yeah, go ahead. And you can say, awesome, awesome. Let me tell you my story. And then that's when I go into my story. My real preference is to get somebody on the phone, but we know that that's hard sometimes to catch people on the phone. Sometimes that Facebook Messenger with the voice clip is just as effective. But I've had a lot of people say, yeah, absolutely. And then some people really do want to schedule a phone call. And they're like, let me look at my schedule and let me see when we can chat. But you see, I did not unload Plexus on them. Mm-hmm. That is too much information. And you can share more than I share. That's not wrong. We have some ambassadors that are extremely successful giving more information. I have chosen to simply say, hey, can we chat more about, and I just want to share my story. I always say, I'm not sure if this would interest you or not. You can say that. One of the Diamond Ambassadors, Emily Roberts, one of her phrases she likes to use is, this may or may not be for you, and that's okay. Mm. That's another really great phrase to throw in a message. Because if it's not for them, that's okay. Like, it's okay. But it might be. Mm-hmm. Y'all have any questions kind of regarding that? It's hard for some people to feel comfortable with.
We still have a lot of people that are still part of the call. I'm not sure if they're waiting to hear from other people with their questions. A couple people just signed off too. So no questions, guys, huh? We're keeping it real. Like, we're all ambassadors here, that there's no potential customers or anybody here. We will be straight up with you.
I think I already bombarded Randy with all my questions in the past couple days. I think she's already answered them all.
That's good. Well, I'm going to say the point there is Christy is in my downline, and I love it because anytime she has a question, she asks. Don't hold questions back. If you have, ask your upline. Ask your direct upline for sure. Brooke just sent a message that said, yes, remember that no means no, not yet, for the most part. It really does. One of those, it's funny that I messaged that I talked about the word vomiting, because I vomited Plexus on this one girl who I really think would love Plexus. I did it when I very first started. And I remember her reply to my message was, whoa, that was a lot. She said that. And I remember thinking I blew it. And I did blow it for about 18 months. But now she's interested. It took a while, but she's interested. I have, and I have people that I'll message or I'll talk to, and maybe they're involved right now with another company. Maybe a different, like a competing health and wellness MLM. I'm not going to say anything really competes with us because Plexus is the best. But you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're utilizing another line of supplements. And more often than not, guys, those people have eventually come to me and tried Plexus. So it was just a not yet. It wasn't a no, not ever. I hate Plexus. That's not what they're saying. So remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, people get very, very, they put up walls and they're very private when it comes to this personal stuff. I quite frankly, guys, when it comes to reaching out privately, most of the time it's because my ears are always open. I am always listening to people and reading what they have to say. And if I think that I can help, I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I couldn't help but notice your post today. And I'm sorry that you got no sleep last night and you have such a long day ahead of you today. And I feel like I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't reach out to you and let you know that I really feel I can help you. Let me know if you'd like to chat at some point later. I do a lot of that, a lot of listening and a lot of watching.
At the end of the day, Plexus is about relationships and helping people, right? That's why we talk about, this is really paying it forward. This is about getting these products that can help others. When you hear a need, when you think about your aunt who suffers with something or your best friend, we're just trying to extend a hand to say, listen, I think this might be able to help you. They may or may not take you up on that offer, but that's what we're just trying to do, is we're just trying to help. I think that if we were all actually just selling something, a lot of people would quit way, way, way sooner, because selling something doesn't have the heart and passion that truly helping improve lives does.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that everybody's either really shy or they feel like, okay, that was simple enough. I can do that, and I'm hoping it's the latter. I'm hoping that you're feeling like, you know what, I could do that. And yes, guys, it is that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Take those notes that you took down tonight and take that list and really just put some heart into it. Keep it simple and just offer what you have. At the very end of the day, what is the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? I honestly think that if you roll out some of these easy things, I really think that you could probably have your products covered in a few days. So, I really do. It's very possible. It's just whatever speaks to you, go ahead and run with it. Keep in touch with your sponsor, and reach out to other people that you see as leaders that you think might be able to help you as well. But we would love to see lots of you achieving some great things, getting your first customer, promoting to silver this month, breaking 500 PV this month. We would love to see that this month. That would be so incredible. So unless anybody jumps off now or jumps in to ask a question, I think we can probably wrap up, huh, Randy?
Yeah. Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Finish making your list of some folks. Now, we really want more than 20, but let's just shoot for 20 tonight, because we all know 20 people like that can come to our minds. Think your family, think your friends, who your high school friends are, who your work friends are. You can think of that.
Autumn, did you have a question? I saw that you unmuted yourself.
No, I'm good.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Just wanted to say thanks.
Oh, you are so welcome. Guys, have a wonderful evening and best of luck to you. Have so much fun with this, okay?
All right, bye, guys.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.